Today we are going to apply things that we've learned about slope, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, to word problems in the real world with people like Vilgot and Flynn and various other names. So in this case scenario, we got a person named Vilgot who made a hat, then a scarf, and he graphed the relationship between the total weight in grams, and that would be over there the total weight in grams of the yarn he'd used. That would be the base, that would be on the x-axis on the bottom here, with the length in centimeters of the scarf. So the longer the scarf, the more yarn used. As you can see, as you go up to 300 centimeters, a longer scarf, then you're obviously going to be using more yarn. That's what's called a direct relationship. It's direct because the more yarn you use, the more length of a scarf, the more yarn you use. It's kind of logical. But what feature on the graph represents how much of the yarn will get used for the hat? Not for the scarf, but for the hat. So because he has made a hat and then a scarf, what point do we start at and where would that be? So everybody go ahead and not only show the point on the graph, but write a little explanation. So Theo's happy when, he comes from England and they're very engaged. He comes from a school where they were very, very proactive. So he'd be very happy to see if you could write an answer down and then justify it. So go ahead and write that down and see what you get. Go ahead and start to write that down. So here's one answer that one student says, Emily, I think that the x-intercept, because that point represents how much yarn was used for the hat, and everything after it is how much was used for the scarf. Well, there you go. Because the x-axis represents the amount of yarn used, and it starts with, well, just a little less than 100, it means that there's already been a little less than 100 used, and the rest gets used for the scarf. And that's exactly right, Emily. It is the x-intercept. That is our answer. And we have a lot of people who got that. Thank you, Sophia, for answering. Thank you, Raymond, for answering. There it is, guys. This is the point. It will pop up on the screen in a moment. That is the place where we start, because he's already used up a lot of the yarn to make the hat. So that's where he starts to use it for the scarf. And then everything is used accordingly. The slope will tell you how much, whatever the relationship between the scarf length and the yarn, but it doesn't tell you where the starting point is. And as the scarf gets longer, of course, the more amount of yarn gets used. But that is the x-intercept, and that is our answer. X-intercept is going to tell us the starting point, and there it is. Better. And again, we want to get to our breakout rooms as soon as possible, so I'm going to go through another question pretty quick here. Which feature of the graph represents how tall the cactus was when Lauren planted it? And remember, Lauren graphed the relationship between how many days had passed, and that would be on the x-axis. The amount of days that have since planting, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. How many days have passed since he planted a cactus and its height? So what's going on at 0? At 0, no days have passed and it's already 10 centimeters high. Now, why is that? Well, because cactus had some height. It was small, but 10 centimeters high, but it was a little baby cactus right here. And that's what it looked like when it got planted. But how do we tell what feature of the graph represents how tall the cactus was when she planted it? Well, where is that point? What is that point? Is it slope? Is it y-intercept or x-intercept? What does that point tell us right here? Obviously, it is the height of the cactus when it was planted. Make sure you take notes on this one. I've already put the arrow to that point, and that indicates that this is a place where we look at the features of the graph represent how tall the cactus was when it was planted. Well, these are the days since planting. At 0, right? If we look at the 0 day, the point when it was planted, that is the point when it's planted. And what kind of intercept is that? Well, this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis, and this is when the line crosses the y-axis. So this is the y, Intercepts. So please take these notes for credit. Please take these notes, and I'll be going around the room to give you credit for what you got. So the y-intercept is here. It's the point. It's at 10. It's at 0 for x, 10 for y, and that is our y-intercept. The cactus was 10 centimeters when it was first planted, and that is our answer right here. That is our answer. So I'm going to double circle it or triple it and maybe put a star beside it. Time, do all the little note-taking things that you need to do. The y-intercept, the arrow, it's at 0, 10. Those are very important. And let's see who's got it. Angel's got full credit for this. It's the y-intercept showing the height. Xavier, nice job looking at that. Look at the arrow, look at the answer, put the point. Over here, Thatcher Stuckey's got it. He's on his game today. We love to see that. Emily, good job. Look at that in her classic red. Very nicely done. It's the y-intercept, very well labeled. Just wanted, just really quick before we go, good job on the rooms, getting things going. I think you know where we're headed, but just to make sure you know where we're headed, I just wanted to point out on Google Classroom, what you should see right here is week 9. There are actually 2 assignments related to this, and they are right here and here. So don't forget, on week 9, don't forget to get those assignments done by next class. Do you have to get 100%? No, but do the best you can. If you don't score too well, don't forget support classes are there to help you, and the videos. There'll be another video related to this class, everything we've done in this class. That'll be coming right up. That'll be on there. Don't forget all the videos. These are the quizzes and tests. If you've fallen behind and haven't got a good grade on these, keep doing those. So there's plenty of work this week, guys. There's plenty of work to do. Nothing short. And then don't forget your video recordings here. They're right here. And I will raise those up just because they're so important. So plenty to do. Lots of fun to be had. And I encourage you to do the best you can in class, and you are, many of you doing really well, but also come to support class. It's coming right up, and you know, it's not, unfortunately, it's not optional for many of you, but for those of you who have the option of doing it, I think it's a great idea. I mean, tie things up. Why not get everything done and then move on to other subjects? So it's a great opportunity before, basically, right after lunch, to just tie things up by 12:30. You'll be done all your homework. It should be awesome. Okay, guys, don't want to keep you too much longer, but thank you very much. Are there any questions before we go? Any questions before we go? And reactions. How do you feel about this new subject? Do you feel pretty good about it? I'm teaching with heart. And how do you feel? Don't forget to say goodbye. You're good. Thanks, and have a good one today, guys. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Excellent work, guys. Have a good day. Any questions?